Hi, my name is Sophie. What made you decide to use the sampling you made of the Winton musical fence as a bassline for one of your songs?
I chanced upon the Winter Musical Fence in late 2008 when I was travelling with the Basics. Like I said before, we did this Oz Council sponsored tour of outback towns and regional areas in Queensland. So we ended up in Winton. That was one of the towns we didn't actually have a school to go to. We just had 2 days off over a weekend in Winton. And I had no idea that this fence existed. So one of the locals told me about it and I was so intrigued. I just drove straight out there and yeah, went straight to the fence and started bashing it and plucking it and playing with it. And there's also an amazing thing near the fence called the bush drum kit, which you can see a little bit of in the documentary that I made about making that track Eyes Wide Open. So yeah, I was so fascinated by the sounds that came out of it. I had to go back that night with my little stereo recorder that I had, and yeah, I kind of set up for a few hours and tried to record as much as possible of it. How it ended up in the song is much like sort of what I was saying before. It was sort of by chance. I wrote a lot of a song on the piano, and then somehow both not only the sound of the fence being so kind of bombastic and big, but also just maybe my memory of being in the space at night at the fence, which was very, I was by myself. It was a cold night, wind was blowing, it was very lonely and kind of distant. There are these, lights glowing in the distance from a truck stop. That I think felt like that was kind of maybe a space where that song existed for me, like physically. So it naturally felt like I gravitated towards those sounds from the fence because as I was kind of imagining maybe this post-apocalyptic wasteland that the song kind of sings about, that kind of felt like the place I was standing in Winton when I first sampled the fence.